Hi everyone! In this vlog, we'll take you from Seattle, Washington to a quick stop in Bend, Oregon, and then embark on a 4-day, 2,000-mile-long journey to Minnesota. It was quite the journey. We've enjoyed our time spending the winter in the Pacific Northwest so much, and I really can't wait to explore Minnesota now that spring is finally here. Alright, well, we just woke up. We left Seattle last night and we ended up at Love's back in Oregon. We're about like an hour from Eugene. We drove about 300 miles last night, and this is where we slept, right next to the gas pump. And I actually slept like a rock last night, not gonna lie. So we're gonna make the rest of the way now from here to Bend, which I think is like another 3 hours, and then we'll be in Bend for a couple of days. I initially did a lot of research to try and figure out a way across the Cascade Mountains that wouldn't be scary, because the one thing I learned about spending 8 weeks in the Pacific Northwest is that I do not like driving through the scary mountains. So after a lot of blog posts and recommendations, we found out that the best way would be to go on Highway 126 or the McKenzie Highway. It's a beautiful scenic route through the mountains and just passes through all of these cute little towns. There were so many roadside attractions we could have stopped at along the way. One in particular we really wanted to check out, so we'll show you next. But it was just beautiful, leisurely drive, and it wasn't scary at all. So if you're not into mountains or cliffs or drop-offs, this is the best way, in my opinion, to get across the Cascades in Central Oregon. I just so happened to find this hike just by browsing Google Maps and searching along the highway, and I'm so happy that we did, because I think this is by far the most beautiful hike that either of us have ever taken. It was so lush and so green, and the landscapes just kept changing. What we didn't realize is that we were going higher and higher into the mountains, and then eventually landed at the Blue Pool, which is a small alpine pool from the snow melting directly into it. You can see here the water was just beautiful turquoise, and I'm so happy that the camera was picking up the actual color. It was just unreal, such a magical experience. We're on the other side, just trying to figure out a way to get down. Woohoo! When Castillo made his way back to me, he let me know that's probably the coldest water he's also ever jumped in. He's not afraid of the cold, but what we later learned was that this literally is snow directly melting into this pool. Girl. Good girl, Button. Yeah. You sitting on the tree? Wait. Button sitting on the tree. This path makes me feel like we're in Lord of the Rings too. All these lava rocks. There's little caves, and stumps, and all the moss. It's so pretty. Say hi. So pretty. And Button. We're on the most beautiful hike. The best part about this hike is that they have an area here. This whole big area for oversized parking. So we didn't have to worry about it. I'm so happy that they had this so that we could do that hike, because it was the most beautiful hike I think I've ever been on. Okay, so we're here in Bend. It is Tuesday. We're only here until Thursday. And then we're gonna spend Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, hopefully, driving to Minnesota and make it there by then. But here's our little camp spot. Got these huge redwood trees. They're so nice. This place is, it's really nice. The spots are really pretty far spaced apart. Got a button here. They offer like trash pickup service. You just leave it at the end of your site. They have a hot tub outside. They have laundry and showers. They even have propane refilling stations. Or not stations, they propane refilling service. So if you need your tanks filled, you just set those at the end of your site, and they will come around throughout the day and pick them up and fill them up and then drop them back off at your site. They have like a lounge with Wi-Fi and like a full kitchen. They even had a KitchenAid mixer to use and an oven. This place is pretty expensive I was able to use my Passport America discount for up to 5 days up until May. So it's like the end of April, so we just hit the cutoff, which was nice. So we got, I think it was only like $30 a night for this spot. Normally it'd be like $60 or $70 a night. So I don't know if you can see. Our site is over there. So yeah, Bend has been really cute. I like it a lot. It kind of is, I mean, it's so different from the rest of Oregon. Like, I've never been to Colorado before, but I guess we're on the eastern side, so we're getting close to Colorado. Bend kind of reminds me more of what I picture Colorado to be like in my mind. It's just a lot more open. The rest of Oregon is just so like dense and so much vegetation, and now that we've passed over the Cascades in Bend in eastern Oregon, it's much more just like open, expansive land. There's still like, of course, all of these super tall trees, and the backdrop of Bend is just like this beautiful mountain range. I'm not sure if I can get it in the picture. You can kind of see it. Wait. Right back there. You can see the mountain range. It's so pretty. I would highly recommend. We took the drive from Seattle. We took I-5 down to just about Eugene, and then we took 126 east to cross over the Cascades, and that was like, it's called the McKenzie River Highway, I think, or the McKenzie Highway. It follows the McKenzie River, and if you are ever in Eastern Oregon and need to cross over the Cascades, I would highly recommend taking Highway 126 to 20 or 20 to 126. And it was just so beautiful, and it wasn't scary. That was my big thing. I didn't want to cross over like scary drop-off mountain peaks, and it was just like the last part of the trip. We went over a couple high mountains. I think we were at maybe like 5,000 or 6,000 feet of elevation, but there's no like super scary parts. So yeah, and now we're in Bend for a couple more days. Our last bit, oh, you can see the mountains there. Our last bit of time in the Pacific Northwest. Man, I can't believe it's already been like 7 or 8 weeks here up in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon and Washington. I think it's now, we've spent almost 6 weeks total being in Oregon. We spent 2 weeks in Washington. I wish we would have gotten more time to spend in Washington, but honestly, Oregon has been so beautiful. Man, oh wait, you can see, there you can see the mountains right there. Button's pulling me, she wants to go for a walk, so I'll leave you here and pick back up if we have time to explore any more cool places in Bend for the next 2 days. Here we go. Now you can see, this is the view of the mountain range from our RV park. We're staying at Sun Outdoors RV Park, and would definitely recommend this place. Here's a little bit more of what this park looks like.
You only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you...
Hey, we're leaving Bend, and we're going to be traveling for the next 4 days, so...
Yeah, we're starting a new podcast. We do a mix of podcasts and comedy shows on the road. Some podcasts are better than others. We're trying this one now. Let's see how we like it.
Yeah. So we're going to spend the next 4 days traveling from Bend, Oregon to Duluth, Minnesota. I think it's like somewhere along the lines of 1,700 miles. So that's the goal, and we'll keep you updated.
Goodbye, Sunbend.
Bye, Bend.
Goodbye, Bend. You had very nice parks and lots of rich white people.
Yeah.
What part of this isn't strange?
This is what Eastern Oregon looks like. It's desert. Very surprising. Okay, so we're stopped here in Riley, Oregon. I think we've driven maybe about 100 miles from Bend, and it's just like nothing. So there's like these tiny little, I don't know, you can see, stations where you have to go inside, like an old school gas station, where you have to go inside and pay, and they come out and pump the gas for you. So thankfully we were able to find one before we ran out of gas, because that was a pretty close call. And then we bought some stuff from the store to prep for this trip ahead of time, and we got this little box. So I made a little snack box here with some celery and dip and grapes and jerky and popcorn to keep us not bored on the road and from eating as much fast food as possible. So we got this, and I think the next stop is Boise, probably. I think a couple 100 miles to Boise. We'll check in again. So this was our stop again last night. Good old trusty Lowe's. This is where we slept. We got from Bend to just past Boise. So I think today we're going to go from here to somewhere in Wyoming, probably about 500 miles. Okay, so we just pulled over, getting some gas. We're in eastern Idaho. I think we're getting close to the Wyoming state line, but there's some Rocky Mountains. There's some more mountains. So pretty. We're here at Soda Springs, Idaho. This is the sulfur spring right here in town. Wow. Not too stinky. Wow.
Don't touch it?
Don't touch it. It's gonna be hot. Is it hot? Can you feel it? Tatsuya is obsessed with touching this water.
It's kind of warm.
Oh. Is this the first time you've ever seen a geyser?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And this is a little one. But it's cool.
The one is coming up. I thought this was like, you know, like the foam that you put into like a caulking area.
Oh yeah, it does look like foam.
I didn't realize it was a rock.
Uh-huh.
I'm off right away, and I'm not one of these guys that goes.
Just starts randomly snowing
Idaho.
in the mountains. These are like big old flakes. And you can
there's
see
not a
it.
single fucking light anywhere on this
No.
state road.
You can see it as it's coming.
We received your amazing manuscript, Next Stop Ronkonkoma, a 1,000-page, totally unproofed document. Unfortunately, we are only
Not even just in
interested
front of
in
us,
young
but like on the
adult
side.
adaptations
Yeah.
now, like Twilight or The Corrections. Maybe you should give more thought to a younger audience. The nerve of these people. I think about teens all the time.
But George, what did the letter say?
It said I'm not gonna get the book deal. Oh my God, I'm not gonna get the book deal.
Okay, so check in. We're on day 4. Just making some coffee here. We got some from Hardee's this morning. We ended up staying at Love's again tonight, just past Rapid City in South Dakota. It's very early, and we're gonna make our way to Maple Grove outside of Minneapolis today for our final campsite. It was funny because when I was in Hardee's getting breakfast this morning, they were playing Final Countdown, and that's how I feel right now. The Final Countdown on this whirlwind 4-day trip. I forgot to check in on night 3. We ended up somewhere in Wyoming, and our water tank froze. I didn't think it was going to be getting cold enough, but as you saw, we were up in the Rocky Mountains, and I guess it did get cold enough as we were driving for that to freeze. So we were driving until like 11 o'clock at night trying to find somewhere to park. There was no Love's, there was no places at the Travel Stop or Pilot or anywhere. We ended up in this little town off of I-80, and there was a Best Western, and we just thought, okay, like, let's just try to park there. And we called, and they were so nice. They let us park there, and they let us come and use the bathrooms and everything, but our water was frozen. So thankfully yesterday it warmed up and it thawed, and so last night when we pulled into Love's here in Rapid City, we were able to take showers. But it'll be nice after 4 days and I think around 2,000 miles on the road of straight traveling to be at our next campsite finally and be able to set up camp. So we'll see you then. Bye. So doing a final check-in here. We're in Minnesota. Sun is out. Feels so nice. It's kind of that in-between first bit of spring weather where it's like getting up to 60 degrees in the day and then dropping down in the 40s at night, and everything is starting to bloom finally. Come outside, let him stay here. Here's our campground. Kind of close to that one. They kind of group them like 2 and 2. So there's big space, but then no one's over there. So yeah, it's Wednesday and I feel like I'm finally just catching my breath from driving for 4 days 2,000 miles all the way from Bend, Oregon to central Minnesota. So we're here, we're in Maple Grove. We're staying at the Northwest KOA in Maple Grove here. We got here on Sunday night. And of course, like I told you about how our water tank froze. Well, what we didn't know also is that our black tank froze. So we get here on Sunday night around like 9 o'clock, and we go to like empty our tanks because we've just been traveling for 4 days and we wanted to empty them before we got set up at our camp spot because we're not connected to sewer, so we have to like manage our water and our black tank and everything. So we go to dump and we pull the lever for the black tank and nothing's coming out. And I'm like, hello? What's happening? And then I go inside to like look down the tube, and I can see everything is frozen solid in the pipe down to the tank. So we had to like boil water, I don't know, we had to do all this stuff. We were sitting there at the dump site for like 45 minutes after we checked in, and it was late and we just got done driving finally. So yeah, anyway, that all got situated. Thankfully, there was no major issues that we found with like our pipes cracking or anything like that from freezing. So that was good. So yeah, that was Sunday night, and now it's Wednesday. So for the last 2 days, we've really just been catching our breath, sleeping, still, you know, just working. Monday was Castillo's birthday. He went into Minneapolis and was just like exploring, got his hair cut, did whatever he wanted to do for his birthday, and we went out to the movies. And now we're just trying to decide what we want to do with the rest of our time in Minnesota. I mean, this is one of the states that we're really interested in potentially moving to, so we want to be able to explore a lot. I think that we're going to go up to Duluth. I think Duluth will be an area that we would really like, so I think after this week, when we check out of here on Saturday, we might try and look for somewhere up in Duluth to stay for like 2 weeks. So yeah, I'll check back in when we decide where we are gonna go next and give you a little update. But as of now, this is where we're at. This is what the weather's like in Minnesota. And I'll update you if we do anything else that's fun.